Well, hello. Tonight I'd like to revisit a pen that I reviewed quite a long time ago and honestly thought by now I'd have sold or traded. Pilot Vanishing Point. So how do I like it now? Well, let's take a look. So this is a pen I never expected would make it to Survivor Pens. I didn't care for it when I got it. It's still not my favorite, but it's grown on me like fungus. So this is a Pilot Vanishing Point. What makes this different is it's a clicky pen. And normally you see clicky on pens like this from the 4H. But this is a fountain pen. So this is really hard to show well without like good camera gear, but you see down in here there's a door. And when I click, the door comes open and then the nib comes out. Go back and the door clicks back into place. If you open it, you'll see the magic. So we have a nice nib unit, a very long nib unit with a super tiny nib. Cute little thing. It's got a guide on it, and then of course the converter up here. If you buy a cartridge, they do come with a metal shield to keep the cartridge from getting destroyed because cartridges have a softer plastic. But with a converter, I guess you don't need to bother. And a special guide to make sure the nib goes in correctly. Now, when I bought this pen, it came with this nib. This is a steel nib. I know it's gold colored, but it was steel. And it was awful. I mean, I hated writing with this nib. The act of writing was not a pleasure. So somewhere along the line, I got talked into trying some different nibs in this, and that made a big difference. Now, one thing I don't like, I still can't get used to, is having this big honking clip here. Don't like that, but at the same time, I can accept it on the Platinum Curidas, so I'm not sure what the difference is here. It is a metal-bodied pen, for whatever that's worth. So let's see how it writes with this much nicer nib on it. So the nib I bought was a 1.1, I think. There's no nib size written on it, but it looks stubby. Could be a broad. Might be a broad. I think it's a broad. I don't actually know. I tried reading it. I tried looking at it under the loop, and I couldn't decide what it is. And it's been long enough since I bought it, I forgot. The ink in it is Rohrer and Klingner. Helianthus. If you're into yellow inks, that is a good one, because a lot of yellow inks are too yellow to be usable. As far as flex, these are not flex pens, but this nib definitely shows stub-like character. A little bit of line variation. Let's try it this way. Definitely a little bit of line variation to it. Wetness and flow. Has that. Smear test. Well, now you know that's not the first pen I tested today. Not my wettest pen, but not bad. Reverse writing. I don't even think I was doing reverse writing when I got this pen. Oh, that's just nasty. Let's not even talk about that. That was awful. And finally, the world-famous Peer Gustafson test. Oh, keep going there, dude. Yeah, no problem keeping up. And finally, because it is a quote, or I'm sorry, it is a revisit, we're going to do a short quote. So all in all, there's not many holy cow, that word is tough. Not many retractable pens out there. This is one of them. Very quality. It's a very popular pen. Maybe not my favorite, but funny enough, I still own it after all of these years, so that must mean something. So that was the Pilot Vanishing Point. I think the biggest thing that helped me grow a soft spot for this pen is putting a different nib in it. You know, I was a viewer actually loaned me 2 larger nibs for this pen, and I just discovered that, oh, it is kind of nice to write with. Now, I'll admit, I still don't like the clip. It's just kind of in an uncomfortable spot. But I do not like the original nib that came with it. I do not use the original nib that came with it. But I have enjoyed having a broader nib in it. So that's made all the difference with this pen. I think it's kind of cute, you know, with the yellow finish. I don't see that one for sale very much. I don't carry it in my pocket much. I should, but I don't. Passes the pocket test fairly neatly. Just a good pen all around. Quality made, very satisfying clickiness, a one-handed clickiness. So a while back I did a video on the Pilot Fermo, which is the twisty version of this, and I just could not manage one-handed operation of it because it took too much twisting to get it to put the nib out. But this works. So I've also done a video on the Lamy Dialogue 3, and my feeling on that was that it was too fat of a pen. So Pilot's got it right here. I'm very pleased with it. And I've recently had the opportunity to use a Chinese... what's a good word? A Chinese pen that was inspired by this. Also quite pleasing. And one of these days I want to do a rodeo where I compare the two of them. So, yeah, on the whole, I'm very pleased with this. Good engineering, very simple trapdoor system down at the bottom to open up and let the nib out. And from what I understand, these are very reliable, and the nib, or the whole clicky system, just continues to work. So anyway, that's the Pilot Vanishing Point. I am pleased with it. Still has its faults, but I haven't gotten rid of mine yet, and there's a very strong chance I will not, now that I've tried it with a larger nib. So anyway, well, thank you for watching. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.